So our advice here when a divorce is starting at the beginning of a divorce is not to move out. Why is it that you shouldn't move out? Here's the top 5 reasons why you should not be moving out at the beginning of your divorce. Number 1, potential of reconciling. If you have any hope of trying to save your marriage, if you're even thinking about doing that, you need to stay living together. People that live apart are not going to work on their marriage. They're not working on their relationship. They've moved on to other things. This trial separation, all that kind of stuff, that's all nonsense. Not going to happen, not reality. So if you have any hope of trying to reconcile, even if your wife is saying she's not willing to reconcile, your spouse is saying they're not going to reconcile, living together is your best bet on trying to make any attempts at reconciling. So that's number 1. Number 2, if there's minor children, custody and parenting time kind of issues are definitely something to be considering before you move out. You do not want to be moving out and then come to find out that it's not what you thought it was going to be about when you were going to see the kids, or what kind of contact you're going to have with your kids, and how the schedule is going to work and what's going to happen. You could move out and then your spouse could say, nope, we're done. The kids are with me. You're not taking them anywhere. You're not going anywhere. You can't even see them now. So you want to know about all that before you move out. Now you can still move out. It's not saying that you can't do that or you shouldn't do that. It's just doing it the right way is key. You don't want to move out, in a moment of anger, and there's no plan, no discussion, no anything, and now it's affecting your custody and parenting time with your kids. If you're living separately and you have minor children, that can also lead to being stuck with child support, because if you live apart, there's a potential for child support. If you live together, there can't be child support. That's how it is in Michigan and Metro Detroit area where I practice law here. So that's another consideration is kids. And then number 3, on these top 5 reasons of why you should not move out at the beginning of a divorce. Number 3 is economies of scale. This idea of, I'm paying the bills at this house, I should live here. I don't want to go pay bills at another house, now I got to pay for it too. So in other words, it's cheaper for 2 people to live together under one roof. If there's a mortgage payment, both people are benefiting from the fact that that mortgage payment is being paid. If I move out, now I got to go pay rent or pay other bills or whatever this other stuff is. I'm picking up an extra set of bills. Regardless of how much I make, there's just no point to that. I don't want to go paying extra money for things that is unneeded. So if you can, you want to continue to living together at the beginning stages of a divorce. If you're going to be the one moving out eventually, then you make a plan. You want to do that the right way. And then number 4 on this reasons of why you would not want to move out at the beginning stages of a divorce. You want to keep an eye on things. Maybe it's just kind of obvious, but you want to know what's going on at the house, what's happening with your possessions. I don't want to come home and find out that they got rid of all my stuff or sold my guitar or whatever it might be that's personal to you. So you want to avoid those problems by staying put in the first place. Don't move out unless it's absolutely necessary. And then if you do, make sure you do it the right way. You want to keep an eye on things. If you have kids, you want to keep an eye on whether there's boyfriends, girlfriends coming to the house or whatever might be happening behind your back since you're not there. You want to know how the house is being cared for. Are the bills being paid? Are things being done properly around there? You want to have a sense of all that before you move out. So staying put, again, it is key because of those reasons. And then number 5 on this list of top 5 reasons not to move out at the beginning is just convenience. It's easier to stay put. All your stuff's there, your routine's there. That's where your mail's going. That's where you live. That's your address on everything. That's your official place of business for doing all your stuff in your personal life. You don't want to be moving out for no reason and upsetting all that and making life harder for yourself and more complicated and, running out like the place is on fire or something. You want to stay put if you can. I understand sometimes people have to move out. There might be domestic violence, threats of domestic violence. That's a given. But if it's avoidable, don't move out. People get into an argument or they get something in their head and they say, that's it, I'm leaving, I'm moving out. And it can be a big problem and can cause a lot of trouble. So you want to stay put if you can. And those are some ideas on that, the top 5 reasons to be staying put.